Hello, people. Welcome to Barn Burner on your Friday. Boomer, Pinder, Warner here as the, it's not a game day. Hasn't been a game day. We need a game day. When's a game day?
A lot of games. They had the road trip, and then they played twice in the 3 days after they got home, and then it's been waiting for the outdoor game, recovering from the outdoor game, waiting to get to Seattle. It's like 4 games in like 2 weeks.
How's the shoveler?
She's annoying me, but she's good.
Is she? Yeah. Is she offering coffees or
I'm a little parched.
Are you?
Mind some fluids.
Need to wet your whistle.
Are you going to put her on waivers to send a message to the family?
Not yet. I'll
Okay.
just bench her for a while. Bench her for a while.
Yeah, on the bench. Just sitting. And you know what? Take a look in the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
Take a long, hard look in the mirror and figure it out. So Jordan Osterle, that was the veteran.
Well, I mean,
we were going to send a message.
If Jordan Osterle can get set down, like no one can feel safe. So clearly, the message has been sent, and people are trembling in their stalls, wondering who could be next. If the 8th defenseman can get sent down, it could be anyone.
Talk about eggshells, am I right?
Whew.
Don't imagine.
I wouldn't feel comfortable even going to the rink. I would avoid the rink at all costs. I don't want to be seen.
Yeah, I think probably it's more to do with keeping a young guy named Connor Zary around. I think that's probably I don't necessarily think that the two are linked, but if you want to make that connection, I guess you could.
They are or they aren't linked? What are you saying?
That the message about sending a veteran, putting a veteran on waivers to send a message, while we put the send a message in, I don't think that it was Osterle. I think this is just about keeping Zary around.
Yeah, another transaction today as well. So it's busy. It's transaction time for Connie and company.
Oh yeah.
You're up to speed?
Huh?
You're up to speed?
Am I up to speed?
Yeah.
Sure. Are you up to speed?
Well, you were mentioning transactions. The news of the day.
Go ahead.
Fire away. Matthew Coronato's going to the American League. He's going to play at 1 p.m. this afternoon as the Wranglers host the Barracuda at the Saddle Dome.
Oh, that's okay. It's okay.
Right. We said it the other day. 2 weeks in the A would not be the worst thing for this kid. You're centering your fourth line. He played with every single forward on the roster of sub 1. Go play. Go play top line minutes, kid.
Guy's got to play.
Except that means he's not producing at this level, and we really need him to.
Do we?
Yeah, but either is anyone else. You know, if you want to look around the locker room and say everyone in here is at a 40-goal clip, except for you, kid. Grab your shit and head down the hallway because you're dragging the boys down here.
I don't know if that's the way I would sell it, but okay. You know what? It's a good approach. There's no sense getting down. You're all terrible. Mm-hmm. So there's no sense being here.
Those are the Steinberg lines from practice.
Yes, that is fresh from minutes ago. And also in there, Marty Pospisil, who's been called up from the American League. He's had an injury-riddled 3 years, but is a pain-in-the-ass player with a bit of skill.
I like what he's doing here, Conroy. He's trying to mix those young guys in, get a little bit of life. I don't mind that at all.
Yeah. So you'll have Coronato playing today with the Wranglers, and potentially Pospisil making an NHL debut tomorrow with the Flames.
There you go. I know they like Pospisil aside from the injuries because he can be a bit of a bull in a china shop. He's got a physical edge to him. I don't know how much offensive ability there is, but they like with a bit of stink in his game. And I think we're all on board with it. Yeah.
I would say we don't score, like we just said. Nobody's scoring anyway, so we might as well have some piss and vinegar in
P&B, baby. Yeah, what is he? 216 penalty minutes and just over 100 AHL games. Like he's a burr under the saddle.
Yeah, it's not one of those guys that's dropping the gloves at heavyweight tilt. I don't think, although I probably would scrap a little bit. But he's a pain to play against, and we don't have a lot.
He's going to run around.
Going to run around, indeed.
He's going to run around.
Got to have in the lineup. Make it happen, Pospisil. Let's go. Make a statement.
Tweak the top four on the anything's possible. Was it nothing's impossible or anything is possible? What did Kevin Durant?
I think it was anything is possible.
Anything is possible.
Yeah. That's the way I recall.
Impossible is nothing.
Mission Impossible, great series.
What was your favorite?
Probably
3 was good, I think.
Mission Impossible.
That's one where he's suspended by the cable.
I don't like
them all. I'd like to just go start to finish and just kind of relive the entire catalog.
I didn't like the one where they had the motorbike fight at the end. Do you remember that?
A little too far-fetched?
A little too far-fetched, yeah.
Yeah. I feel like that'd be a great description for the whole series.
Yeah.
No.
That crazy bastard does all his own stuff, though. Hey, he's hanging off the side of planes, and they showed the clip where he's running and then jumps from building to building and comes short, and the front of his foot hits the building and snaps up, broke his ankle.
Really?
During the filming of this, and gets up and continues to run and finish the scene with a broken ankle. I mean, he's batshit crazy, but he's committed to his craft.
It's your hero.
Yeah, he's
Short King.
I'll tell you what. I need to go back and watch the Top Gun again.
Top Gun.
Top Gun
we did
2.
the Maverick or the original. Sorry, which one do you need to see again?
2. I like Jennifer Connelly, so 2.
Ooh, yeah. Sign up for that.
I just they kept trotting out all the old. It's there's the bike, there's the helmet, there's the jacket. It's
there's the song they sing.
There's the song.
There's Goose's Kid, all that.
Yeah. Goose's Kid could he could chill out a little bit.
It's around tight, Dean. He's been through some shit.
And yeah, your dad's dead, but it's not like Maverick shot him in the head. I mean, it was Christ, they were buddies. Didn't cost you your chance. He promised your mom that he wasn't going to let you do something. Made a promise to your mom.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
Dummy.
So this is what the shows are going to be now that we can't talk about the hockey team anymore.
Hey, I think that I think they're finding some things here.
I think the schedule's horseshit.
That too. Yeah, I agree. It was so busy every other day for 2 weeks, and now it's waiting around, twiddling your thumbs.
It's the hardest part.
The waiting.
Hardest part.
Love meatloaf.
Darren Dreger coming up in probably about 10 minutes. I'm going to do a little something here. It's for McLeod Law. It's the injury report. Except it's not really the injury report, but it goes to show you what can happen when there isn't an injury to report. Clear?
No.
Yep. It'll probably be clear when you're done. Yeah.
All right. Let's start off. I wanted to remember we had that meeting at McLeod. Well, Rhett, you weren't there, but Shane was in on that meeting.
Yeah.
Things are going so good with Peter Klein and McLeod Law and all this. Shane was like, I need some love, boys. How do I get involved? Kind of jealous. I got some FOMO over here.
That's right.
I need a little bit of this barn burner karma.
Give me some of that.
Look at Shane here. We got a little thing. Shane's hey, Shane, you're part of the family, bud.
Welcome in.
You're part of what we're doing here. Look at the grin on this guy. I believe in cost-benefit analysis, so the most cost-effective outcome is achieved by my client's cases. Shane King, McLeod Law.
Shane-o.
Welcome to the party, pal. There's Shane King. Just one of many highly successful, great people over at McLeod Law. Indeed. They just keep bringing them through. We sit there in their beautiful boardroom, and more people come in. It's you're very smart. And you're accomplished. You're very successful in your field, and you're
well-spoken,
and you're a good person. And you kind of like what we're doing, which again,
not sure about that part.
Not sure about that part. But there he is, Shane King. He's part of everything over there. Go to McLeod-law.com. Whatever it is, whatever your legal situation is, they have the best of the best and good people to help you out.
I believe employment law is where he's spending a lot of his time. So
there you go.
Get some people screwing you with your job.
That's right.
Go talk to the king. You bring in the king.
You're getting the GD runaround by the man.
That's right.
Get that beautiful bastard on your side.
Get the king working for you.
Chop him down. That's right.
I like those scan codes that they have. Because I just
QR code?
QR or whatever, yeah. Because I just use cards. So.
All right, so the injury report, here's what we're going to do for you. When you're on the injury report, life's tough. When you're on it often, it's hard to perform at your best.
Yeah.
what happens when you stay off the injury report, man? Let's take a look at what's possible.
Possible?
Cette mise en jeu avec ses alliés habituels, Pearson et Gallagher. Et voilà une passe à Monahan, un 2 contre 1, beau repli de McBain. Monahan tire! Et bien, il poursuit sur sa lancée. Sean Monahan.
Sean Monahan. Goals in 4 straight games, 9 points in 10 games to start the season.
On this day in yesterday's history.
Unbelievable, men. He can still play. I'm happy for him too.
Yeah, and you hope he stays healthy because he didn't look bad there out of the gates last year either. And then it was, I believe he was on the shelf by Christmas and the New Year. So yeah,
story came out yesterday. He was kind of talking about how his wife has to deal with him. That it's one thing you're at the rink or he's at home miserable all the time, and that's. So he'd be trying to stay in the game and stay healthy and contribute for the team and do whatever he could. And his wife was like, you're hurt. It's okay to be hurt. People get hurt in your line of work.
Well, and he's so vocal, that big personality. I mean,
exactly. So just jabbing her ear off.
Blowing his top off at home.
Almost a point per game.
Upset. I sure wish I was playing hockey rather than not playing hockey.
I bet though, I mean, when you are that kind of guy, there's got to be you're letting off steam somewhere. It's probably at home. He's just throwing pots and pans around the kitchen, smashing shit.
I have a stress ball I squeeze in my fist when I'm frustrated. It helps.
Stay away from my RV. Oh, that's good for Monty.
Good for him indeed.
Good for him. Stay off the injury report. Still can play the game, Retro. Still got it.
He does have it. He always had the shot.
Could always shoot it, except when his wrists was hurt. He
Maybe a
when
little while
healthy,
there.
Yeah, when his wrists are like hanging on by sinew and string.
That's right. They had that piece of the fence that they put there and they tied it, and that was like, hold it straight.
Yeah, got some zip ties.
Aside from that time, he could really shoot it. All those other times.
McLeod Law, injury lawyers, business. Again, whatever it is. Are you getting divorced? I mean, for starters, congratulations. But you're going to need a lawyer for that.
Congratulations on what? Cutting your pile in half? Come on now.
No, on having the best in the business in terms of law advice on your side.
You got family law, employment law, injury law. All right, you got everything.
Are you a entrepreneur?
Yeah, there's lots of them.
Are you injured? Do you have a business? You got a marriage? You got whatever it is.
You getting screwed by an insurance company?
You getting the old runaround?
Huh?
McLeod Law. They're proud of their Calgary roots, big part of their long-standing client relationships. They get this city, the people in it, and the way that things work. Like the communities that they serve, McLeod Law team is varied and diverse and share a commitment to making a positive impact on Calgary. McLeod Law, McLeod-law.com.
So, Dean, like if you were getting cease and desist from your former employer, these would be good people to talk to.
I'd go right to McLeod Law.
Okay,
what's the H? What's that fat redhead sending me letters for? Fucker was buying me lobster rolls a year ago. Now he's sending me cease and desist letters. Fuck that guy. Too close to home.
I don't know what you're talking about. Market cap, $20 billion. Yeah, we're probably a big problem for you, aren't we?
Yeah, you're really. Sorry to take such a dent out of your fucking bottom line, pal.
Yeah. Anyway, talk to McLeod Law. I'll get that straightened out.
Maybe you'll have some lobster rolls when you come with us down to it's not really lobster roll territory.
How's the seafood in Phoenix, Rhett?
Right?
They're good at importing, so it's fine.
Okay.
Probably
what's the catch of the day?
If we can get lobsters wheeled in on a plane to Calgary, we could probably do something in Phoenix if that's what we're up for. Jan 11 to 13th, barn burner vacation. We're going to Phoenix, Arizona, to see the Flames and the Coyotes at the Mullet Arena. We've got your flights, we got your hotels, we got your tickets, transportation from and to and from the rink and all that. $14.99 based on double occupancy. Go to nationgear.ca to book your spots. Spots are starting to roll. It's a good Christmas gift. If it's something, hey, you know what? Hear about this rink down there and the 4,500 small rink, NHL hockey in there. Crazy.
Chaos.
Come and see it for yourself.
Well, I'm sure they'll be playing there for a decade. There can't be any rush, Dean. I'm sure the league
loves no, because they're going to be in that brand new building in Tempe or
Salt Lake, Atlanta,
something soon.
Houston.
Yeah. So definitely you want to get on that. We're going to go down in January. You get through the Christmas season.
Yeah.
Like, now what have I got to look forward to? Well, how about lobster rolls with retro in Phoenix?
Big
Not
fan.
bad, right?
We got some pals down there too. Commie's going to be down there. We know Darcy Hordachuk is becoming a pal of the show. It's all of a sudden we're going to have a network down there, Rhett. You'll be running for mayor in no time.
Beef dips at Houston.
Oh, beef dip, yeah.
They are good. Don't wear your hat though.
What?
No hats. Can't wear your hat.
I'm not allowed in a place like that, am I?
I'm not going with you.
Because I'm growing a mullet for the mullet arena,
That's
right? They're not letting me in that joint.
Our Barn Burner Vacation presented by Alberta Blue Cross. There's only one thing better than sharing memories, and that is making new ones. Alberta Blue Cross Travel Insurance protects your memories and more wherever travel takes you. Visit ab.bluecross.ca/ and maybe win some of that cool stuff. Darren Dreger, hockey insider from TSN, joins us on the Insider Hotline. Tell us, Dregs, how we doing, bud?
You know, I'm playing injured this week. I mean, I'm old enough to disclose this, and I'm equally embarrassed. I hurt myself sleeping on Wednesday night. I don't know if that's ever happened to you guys. Have you been there?
Yeah.
Is it the neck or?
Yeah, right shoulder, neck. I mean, you know, I fell asleep watching a hockey game, and it's no good.
I can't turn my. I have to look my. Oh, there you are. Hi.
That's pretty much it. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly.
And you start doing the checklist. It's like, so what was I doing? What could I possibly? And then it's really sad when you get to the end. It must have been in bed when I was asleep.
Yeah, I knew what happened, man. You know, I had the pillows stacked up. I was propped up. I was watching a hockey game, whatever. Fell asleep. Woke up at like 3 a.m, like disjointed and twisted. Like, that's probably not going to work in the morning.
The Canucks didn't score enough to keep you up. Come on now.
No. Well, this is going back. This is again indication of age and body breaking down. This happened Wednesday, and I'm still like a pretzel.
Oh yeah,
but I'm stubborn enough. I'm not getting medical care. I'm not going for Cairo or any of that stuff. This is going to work itself out.
You know why? Because you're a man. Right? You're a man, Dregs. That's why. No, I haven't even told the guys because you talk about embarrassing. I've been dealing with this friggin' gout off and on for a few months now, and it's a bugger. It's this week.
That's old man stuff, right?
And it's like another step. I didn't even tell the guys. This is the first time they're hearing it. I got it in my elbow this week.
Oh, Dean.
My elbow, it had the big, gross thing.
Oh,
you go to even just stretch your arm. Oh, damn. Ow. What'd you do? Just straighten my arm. It's no big deal. Don't worry about me.
What causes that? Like booze, tubs of
That's
sour
what they
cream?
say,
like,
right?
What are you eating? Like,
it's the uric acid or some bullshit. Yeah. They're like, oh, it must be living well, eating all that red meat and booze. Like, no, I'm trying to have salads and water. God damn it. This is the worst. Anyway,
life we live.
At least the hockey things are going great in the hockey side here.
That's right.
Hopefully.
I guess basically talking to Conroy this week, in a way, the sign went up. The Flames are closed for business in terms of some contract stuff, which I think is relief for a lot of fans who are watching this team struggle. Don't be extending a bunch of guys, but it does sound like at least internally that they're moving on for the time being from any extensions.
But are we sure that was the position of the Calgary Flames? Or the players said, you know what, let's just lock in the brakes here. I mean, Lindholm was represented by Newport. That was a slow-moving process, and I'm not being critical of it at all. That's just the reality of how they chose to go into this one. Pat Brisson and Hanifin, that was different. Like I think they were real close to a multi-year extension, and Noah Hanifin just said, "Look, he didn't push himself away from accepting a level of responsibility for how things have started for the Calgary Flames. But hey, when you're an unrestricted free agent or a pending UFA, you've earned that right. So, I think he's going to leave a lot of money on the table is what I think.
Yeah.
Given the extension numbers that I heard, which I'm not going to repeat just out of fairness to that process. But it was the player here, in that case, Noah Hanifin, who just said, hey, I need a bit more time to see where this organization, what direction are they going? And I think that's fair. When you've got Huberdeau signed and you've got Kadri signed, and you've got Markstrom under contract, You can't throw out really any of the R words, can you? You can't rebuild with those contracts. So can you renovate? Can you retool all those fancy R words that the executives throw out from time to time? Well, I think the only way you can do that is if you're not extending your pending UFAs like Lindholm and Hanifin. And if things don't improve, then it becomes pretty obvious those guys are likely going to be traded.
Yeah, I would guess if you are in year one of your big extension to hear rebuild, even but like you say, reshuffle, retool, restock, whatever it is. Yeah, it's probably not ideal. So if by hook or by crook, one way or the other, the Flames get to this point, and they're going to move on from some of these contracts. For someone like Hanifin, I suppose, if there's a trade to be done, and there would be, I would think there's teams that would look at Hanifin and find a home for him.
Sure.
Is that best? You always wonder, and I guess it depends on what teams have injuries and that, but are we expecting all of these, if it's a Lindholm, Tanev, deadline deals? You got to wait to get that bidding process going, or is it not quite cut and dried?
No, it isn't. And that's a dangerous game. Like you hope that the interest gets higher. You hope that the offers get better. And sometimes that does drift to the trade deadline. But how many years consecutively now have we watched some of these bigger deals get done earlier? It depends on your need and what your stomach is here. And, I look at the Pierre-Luc Dubois trade to the LA Kings. It's a little bit different, but same agent as Noah Hanifin, Pat Brisson. And he found a way to get the best of all worlds for PLD, didn't he? He puts him in a spot in LA where they need centers. And then on top of that, he gets a mammoth contract to go along with it. So specific to Noah Hanifin, there's always a market for good, solid top four defense. I'm not saying Calgary is saying this. I've talked to a number of GMs who thought he'd have more offensive upside than what he has.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's not to say it's not going to come. But if you're investing in Noah Hanifin, are you willing to do that now, or are you willing to make the trade? And by now, I'm saying between now and March 8th. Or do you want to roll the dice on a rental option and see where it goes? So it's too soon to say any of that.
Are any of these a situation, because we saw it with Tkachuk, where you get the extra year, where you could do the sign and trade, where you get the 8 year as opposed to 7, and that brings your cap hit down and it gets the player a little bit more money, and in theory would bring the Flames a bigger haul in terms of a trade. I'm not sure how many trades. It's pretty, it's selective to the team, I suppose, but that might be something that Conroy's definitely going to try and sniff out if he could, I would think.
I would think so, Dean, and most managers do that. But how often does it happen? It really doesn't. It doesn't happen very often.
The first ever was Tkachuk, as much as it was talked about for decades, right?
I know it doesn't happen very often because it's complicated.
Yeah.
But that's why the clubs always have the advantage when you're getting into that process of talking about an extension. I mean, was Calgary in a place where they put an 8 year deal on the table for Noah Hanifin? I think they probably would. For Lindholm. So in theory it works, but it doesn't happen very often. I'm repeating myself here. I think, look, I mean, what they need, and by they, everybody associated with the organization, is for this team to start winning hockey games, obviously. And then that kind of pushes everything back, because there is not another team, even though there are teams that clearly have needs. I watched the Leafs Bruins last night. Boston had 3 American League defensemen in their lineup. Liljegren gets crumpled into the boards by Brad Marchand. He's out. McCabe's out. Toronto's got issues now on that back end. But, Brad Treliving, Don Sweeney, they're not throwing life preservers to Craig Conroy and the Calgary Flames, and vice versa. So it's too early to get too caught up in what a trade might look like, or whether it could be a sign and trade at this stage.
Mm-hmm.
I can see it. Sorry, I was just gonna say I can see in our comments people are like, no, winning games is not what's best, Dregs. Let's make this real easy for
a franchise player.
And I suppose on one hand, if they don't win games, and I mean it's 6 losses in a row, and there's at this point they played better the other night than they did in the outdoor game, but there's not a whole lot of reason to think that this is a team that's going to get themselves into even a position to flirt with a playoff spot. it allows Craig Conroy and his staff to really dig into a trade market, to look at the draft kids that are going to be eligible for the upcoming draft. It kind of allows you to shift your focus, as unfortunate as it is. You're kind of throwing a year away, but it does let you care.
It does, but imagine how that conversation goes with Murray Edwards and ownership of the Calgary Flames. Right now, Brad Treliving isn't there anymore, but we were giving Brad all kinds of credit for how he did the about turn. Okay, Johnny Gaudreau isn't signing, kept it to the 11th hour, doesn't sign. He goes into the market. And by the way, you've got Tkachuk, who you've got to deal with now, and he wants to go to Florida, so make that happen. So you find a way to make those deals work, but I got to believe you're doing that in concert with the conversation with ownership that is saying, we're not ready to renovate here or rebuild. Let's just try and add the pieces that they added in Huberdeau and sign Kadri and all of that. And let's see if we can fix this and transition on the fly. So now you're Craig Conroy, and Conroy obviously talked about that when he accepted the job as general manager, how difficult it was to watch Gaudreau walk out for free. But how do you go back to ownership and say, yeah, we committed long-term to these pieces. They're not working out the way we hoped. So what do you think about selling off and, trying to get put ourselves in a better draft position? It's possible. It might even be likely. It will be likely if this team doesn't find a way to turn it around. But how do you think that conversation goes? That's got to be a tough one.
Yeah, well, and I think by American Thanksgiving, it's probably a large enough sample where we can stop pretending this team is going to be something that it isn't at that point. That's what a quarter of the season's done.
Yeah.
It's not like you're like, well, it's just a bad week or two. No, that's almost 2 months.
And the other thing we've talked about too, Ryan, sorry, I want to let you in here, but we've kind of, again, there's no way to confirm it, but we can't help but wonder, and it's no disrespect to Brad Treliving or any of Brian Burke or Jay Feaster, but I wonder if Craig Conroy and Jerome McGinley maybe have a little bit more of Murray's ear. If it's a little different when it's coming from two guys that wore the crest and meant as much as they did to the franchise. If maybe that carries a little more weight with Murray than, say, someone else.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point. And I think that both those guys like the idea of taking it in the teeth for a while and foundationally fixing this organization. As difficult as that's going to be, we had this conversation on set, Jeff O'Neill and Dave Poulin and I the other day. It's not like, even though they've got big contracts, they're immovable objects, right? I think that if you get to that place, and you're right. I mean, American Thanksgiving traditionally is where teams really take full stock and then they make their decisions moving forward. If you're really going to play the drastic card, would there be a market for Nazem Kadri? Yeah, there'd be a market for him. There would be.
Huberdeau, you'd have to eat some dough on both those cats, right?
Probably. Yeah, probably.
It's all signing bonus with Huberdeau. That's what I think makes it scary for other GMs, that in a worst case scenario, you can't even buy it out. And the term is forever. He's already in his 30s, and you've got 7.9 years left on that thing.
And this isn't a knock on both guys, even though it's going to sound like this. They're support players, aren't they? Yeah. I mean,
that's what we've learned here.
That's what they are.
Yeah,
and
that's true. Second line for Huberdeau in Florida, and Nazem Kadri, second line center on a cup-winning team. When you bring them in, the Flames were asking them to be top-line players. Yeah. To this point, they haven't been.
Yeah, and it's tough to move those contracts. I do think there'd be a market, but man, if you're Craig Conroy and you're going into that pool, you better be creative and ready to swim.
Okay, in division, if we're done with Flames, fellas, is that fine? The Oilers have been one of the biggest disappointments in misery across the province, not just in Southern Alberta. And the Canucks, on the flip side, have looked legit. Now, beating up the worst team we might see in a decade in the NHL last night's one thing, but this is a vastly improved Canucks roster that still has some top-end star power. Just a thought on the neighbors here, Dregs.
Yeah, well, look, I'm impressed by the Vancouver Canucks. I think that we could all think that they were going to be better. I still think that there's some growing pains for that group. Defensively, they're still looking for other pieces. Excuse me. So we'll see whether or not they can, sustain this quick start. I would say that they can't, but I mean, they've got some real high-end talent there. I mean, that's pretty obvious. Their goaltending is top-notch. I'm a big fan of what I'm seeing from Rick Tocchet and that coaching staff in Vancouver. Like even the JT Miller situation earlier this week. He's running hot. He's taking dumb penalties. Well, Talk puts him on the bench. I mean, it wasn't an old-fashioned benching. What did he sit there for 4.5 minutes? Like, it's not like he sent this guy to the showers, but he let him cool off. He comes back in the third period. He scores a big goal, and away the Vancouver Canucks go. So it looks like all of their pieces fit. And now I'm starting to wonder about Connor Garland, right? I mean, we know that the agent Judd Moldaver still has permission to talk to other teams, but I mean, there was nothing going the way of the San Jose Sharks last night. Who's kidding who? But I'm listening to that game and I'm hearing Garland's name a lot. So maybe they're not as anxious now to move out a Connor Garland. As for Edmonton, I don't know, man. You guys got to inform me what's going on there, because I don't get it. I don't understand. I mean, their defense has been in tatters, and largely that's because of initial injury with Matthias Ekholm and things like that. Evan Bouchard, without Ekholm, looks completely and utterly lost back there. And it looks like Kenny Holland is going to have to one more time do something. And then Connor Brown gets hurt, right? I mean, the good news is I mean, it sounds muscular, but he's got a big bonus coming up here shortly. Like, what is it, 10 games? He gets another 3.2.
One more game, and it's 3.25, and that might be all your cap gains for next year. I'm a fan of Connor Brown coming off a real significant injury. I thought that was a good signing. I did. I thought that he was going to be a piece that could certainly help them in their top 6. Worst case scenario, top 9, but it just doesn't seem to work. And guys, I hate doing this. And this isn't insider information. This is my experience telling me, and you guys have lived it so often in Calgary. How long before we start talking about coaching in Edmonton? Right. And it's because of how disjointed they seem. And, I think last week we talked about this. They adopted the Vegas defensive system, and the Oilers just don't want to seem to buy in or want to commit to playing that way. And there seems to be a stubbornness with that coach to not want to change it, and I guess he's looking at Vegas and seeing what they did. They hoisted the trophy, but, that team is built from ownership down to win a Stanley Cup. And man, they're, where are they in the division right now? I mean, only Calgary and San Jose worse. Yeah.
They're in. It's not going to be too much longer before the heat gets cranked on the staff. No question.
Yeah, and so you're gifted 2 superstars. You pick, you get 4 lottery wins. You got Draisaitl at 3, which is a great selection. That wasn't the consensus call there. Yeah. And so outside of those 2 stars, what do you really have to do to have a cup contender? Like, don't you just have to be league average everywhere else? And somehow we're looking at a team with below average net minding, below average decor, below average bottom 6. Yeah. And they're not young. They've swung and missed on some first rounders. Like, Broberg ain't Caulfield. He ain't Zegras. He ain't Boldy. I might have missed up one of the guys in that draft class. But point being, it's like you could use another young, exciting guy rather than bringing back, a guy in his mid-30s in Sam Gagner who, scored. But they seem old for a team that we feel like this is a contention window. They're not as young as Colorado, Dallas.
No, but you hit on all of it, right? And those are all the areas of concern. I mean, just to go back a step here, I mean, the reason why the coaching staff, employed the different defensive structure is because they're trying to protect their goaltending. No different than what Vegas had to do with the carousel of goaltenders that they went through last year before Hill and Thompson settled in. Their bottom 6 is not good enough in Edmonton offensively. It's just not. Defensively, that's been a disaster. And they had hoped to be able to play Nurse and Bouchard together. They tried it in the preseason. They were okay with it. Thought maybe if that would click, then they could put Ekholm and Broberg together, and Cody Ceci drops into the third pairing, and it hasn't worked for a minute. I mean, their defensive play has digressed. So if you're Kenny Holland, what do? You're
moving your first. First. It's your last year on the job.
Yeah.
Like, anything that's a draft pick is available, but you need to go make another Ekholm deal at a minimum, and it might be another one that you have to do in net as well.
Boy, and you're right, Dregs. Ekholm, I like that deal for them. He came in. He's a great fit there. Yeah. But if Ekholm's out and then everything is in a rinse cycle again. So that speaks to that one play last night for Bouchard where he was he just had no idea where he was. He had no awareness.
Yeah.
So,
he can't get out of his own head, man.
Oh my gosh.
Like when he plays simple, and he's got that big booming shot from the point, it can be lethal, and we've seen it work. But when he tries to do too much, like a lot of players, it gets problematic. But now, you're seeing the obvious, and they continue to look at their two top dogs and say, okay, we need you to bail us out because the defense isn't great. The goaltending is just okay. Our bottom six isn't really contributing consistently. So we need you two guys. And Evander Kane, we need you to play like you played in the Heritage Classic all the time, not part-time. We need you to do that all the time. So lots of questions there.
Interesting week in Ottawa. I wonder with Michael Andlauer, the quote about I didn't deserve to inherit this or whatever that was. No. I can't help but wonder what Gary Bettman thought about that. But a wild week between Shane Pinto and then losing a first rounder. Not a great week for the Sens.
Well, look, Andlauer would have known that there were sanctions coming because of how things went down in the Dadonov trade, right? And that's Vegas trying to move Dadonov to Anaheim. And then they find out after the deal was approved that no, he has a limited no trade and Anaheim is on this list. Ottawa didn't disclose it. Ottawa said it wasn't, or he didn't have that when they made the trade, sending Dadonov to Vegas. So, yeah, it was messy. But Michael Andlauer would have known that those sanctions were coming. What I don't think he knew or expected, or at least hoped, he hoped that what was going to change was that it wasn't going to be that first-round draft pick, that forfeiture of a first-round draft pick. I got to believe that the new owner of the Sens campaigned in every way possible to try and get that reduced. I mean, talk about punitive.
That's insane.
It's a large sanction. But I think it also speaks to the commissioner feeling how misled everyone was in that process. When you get to the trade call, that is judge and jury. I've said that multiple times this week. And so when you're duped by management of a team, well, what is the penalty for that? What is fair? So I don't think Andlauer maybe knew or didn't expect that Bettman was going to adhere to as hefty a penalty as it turned out to be, but he knew that it was coming. But yeah, there's been a lot of bad stuff. This was the end of the line, obviously. Pierre Dorion was going in it. He's in the final year of his contract. I think that organically they would have made the general manager change, but it just became evident to Andlauer and Steve Staios that they had to do it now.
And
that just seems so steep. Who got hurt here? Who got hurt? You think of all the crazy things that the teams have done and been accused of, and people losing livelihoods. Like, what was the actual damage here? Vegas had their feelings hurt?
Well, yeah. From a public relations standpoint, it didn't look good for Kelly McCrimmon and the Vegas Golden Knights, and now they've been vindicated. I understand that, but look, I think I'm probably just scratching the surface of what actually went down. Okay. I have a good understanding of what went down and how misled the league, the Ducks, the Vegas Golden Knights were by Pierre Dorion and the Ottawa Senators. But I understand your point, and I support it. To forfeit a first-round draft pick, even though you get to pick what year, 24, 25, 20, it's a first-round draft pick. You're talking about what should be a legit NHL player. So was there more than that? If we're willing to go as harsh as calling it a lie by Senators management, was it a collection of lies that led to the commissioner, saying, there's got to be, because we've seen this happen before. It's happened before where agents forget to submit or teams forget to, it has happened. Guys make mistakes. It's not that big of a deal. But to penalize Ottawa the way they have, it must have been a collection of things that went into this. And keep in mind, because guys have speculated wrongly, I will say, it's not appealable. And Commissioner Bettman is not rescinding. Michael Andlauer, he announced his disdain and how upset he was. It's not changing.
Mm-hmm.
They're forfeiting a first-round pick. They just get to pick the year. It's not changing.
And that's what I wondered, because it was such a steep penalty.
Yeah.
Is this like a cautionary tale? Is this happening behind the scenes and we don't hear about it? I just don't know how many teams are going to be extra cautious now after this. It seems like it's
But hey, guys, don't forget, when this first came down, the league talked about, and so did the Players Association. Okay, well, we've got to find a way to bring this in-house. All the limited no trade clauses and the lists and all that, they need to be attached to the contract. Or Central Registry has to have a hold of it, or the Players Association has. Well, they're not doing it, and they still haven't done it, and they don't intend on doing it, which is utter nonsense to me. I don't have an answer for it.
You're worried about leaks?
Like, how difficult would that be? I mean, you have to file your contracts with Central Registry. I don't know.
I would have fully expected that all that stuff was already, clearly it's not. And now that they're still not doing it is stunning.
Yeah. It is. It's a huge misstep. And I don't know if it's a manpower issue, like you need to, but I mean, when you make a trade, Central Registry painstakingly goes through the contracts before they say, okay, deal approved. So add an extra layer that says, okay, here are the specifics to that no trade or limited no trade. Everybody's good with it. Yes, we're all good with it. All right, here we go. Doesn't make sense.
I just see a few comments coming in. Safe to say, I'm just guessing, that the Flames would not allow the Oilers permission to speak with Daryl Sutter, right? That probably would not happen anyway.
Murray Edwards doesn't want to save $4 million. What are you talking about?
Well, hey, maybe. You're going to pay him? What's it, 2 more years?
That's the whole deal, right? It's always if a guy's under contract and you're paying him, that comes out of what we owe.
Hey, I was asked on Montreal radio this morning, somewhat tongue-in-cheek, I hope, how long before Daryl is back on the bench in Calgary? I laughed away.
Do you think he coaches again? Like, I know he's still around the game, but it kind of.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't
think so.
I'll take his side on this. Is he not being vindicated to a certain extent?
Yeah, I think so, man.
Yeah,
I think so.
Right? Like,
yeah.
The
culture change needed. Right? You had to move the dark cloud. You had to do all of these things, right? Yeah. It's a results-driven business. You got to win hockey games, and they're not winning.
Yeah. Losing 6 in a row is not fun, regardless of
who the coach is.
The fun is gone.
Yeah, maybe it's more fun without Daryl.
Maybe.
That's probably fair.
So is it like a liniment or like A535? What kind of Rhett, you're kind of in the natural stuff. Did we get some what kind of seeds? Some seed oil we can get
CBD juice on there or something.
Get out in the woods and get some tree bark and chew that up with some
munch up some mushrooms. Just make sure you know which mushrooms you're chewing on.
Yeah, as Pinder would say, you're a fun guy. That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Perfect. Okay, send me your recipes.
Yeah. Love you, pal. Have a great week. We'll talk to you next Friday.
All right, guys. Thanks.
You bet. There's Darren Dreger, one of our insiders, joining us on the Insider Hotline. And tell us, it's world-leading technology driving meaningful change, from transforming healthcare and making our food supply more sustainable to reducing our environmental footprint, connecting Canadians in need. The most giving company in the world, making the future friendly. Learn more at TELUS.com/givesback.
You know what's sad?
I've got the TELUS. That'd be the thing. Go to TELUS on the website. Find out if you have fiber internet in your neighborhood. If you do and you're not using it, you're missing out.
What are you doing?
It's the best. There's no better technology right now.
You know what you just said, Dean. Get the best stuff.
Just get the best.
You don't need dial-up anymore. Get the good stuff.
That sort of stuff. Yeah. Sorry, Rhett, you were going to say something there.
I was just going to ask. Is he a good fit in Edmonton? Could he crack the whip and get the? I
just see Edmonton as more of a roster construction issue than a coaching issue, personally. Like, I just look at those two goalies and thinking, you've got 2 years left of Draisaitl and McDavid, and that's what you've got. I look at that decor and say you've got two of the best. Like, I just see roster construction as a problem, not the coach, but I also don't think the coach is necessarily Hall of Fame bound.
I also saw Eric Goodbranson play some of his best hockey. We've seen him have that sort of impact. I don't know if it's enough to push them over the top, but if it's goaltending and defensive woes that are your issue, and you have that kind of world-class talent that can get you 30% on a power play, it's not crazy to think.
No, it's not.
Just don't give permission. Murray! Don't do it.
Save
Why?
some money, some bottom line.
Just don't want them to win, Retro. That's
Oh,
all.
that's good.
I don't want the Oilers to win. That's it.
Yeah, the real parade in Calgary in the next 2-3 years is if somehow they don't lift the cup with those two superstars. That will be one of the greatest failures in the history of this league, to have someone as good as McDavid not lift the cup in his first 8 years. That would be wild.
I know this is a bunch of rumor BS, but do you think if it continues the way it is that one of those guys goes, yeah, I don't want 2 more years here?
I think if they don't win together, they're not coming back. If they hang a banner, you can
I
keep
know, but
those
that's
guys.
Before the contracts are over, you mean?
Yeah, they
I'm
got 2
saying
years left of
before.
Draisaitl.
So Rhett is
I'm saying
asking.
before.
Yeah, okay.
If they're horseshit at Christmas, sorry, and it doesn't look better next year, is it, or either one
especially
of
if
them
that
going?
Brown bonus kicks in, that's all your extra cap space disappears for a guy that's not even going to be there. If it's going to happen, I would think it would be this summer, and it's Leon. Next year is the last year of his deal, and you can go in Germany, home, be with family, and say, guys, if you want to reload the cupboards, it's me. I'm not going to re-sign, and I don't have to live in Toronto and face all the cameras like McDavid will. And I know he spent a lot of time with Connor in Toronto this summer, but I just think if they miss this year, why would these guys be back? What has management shown them about their ability to surround them with the right parts?
I don't think it'll happen, but
I don't either.
No, but if they miss, that's the only way. Yeah. Again, we're sort of like way down the road again. No one would be surprised if the Oilers won 14 of their next 20 games and we're second in the Pacific in the new year. Like there's enough high-end offense there.
And the beauty for them is there's nothing. It's get in and then
well, that's the thing, Retro. The one thing that this has done is, yeah, they could rattle off 8, 10, 12. I feel okay in my own skin about their chances in a playoff.
Yes.
I look around and I see some of these other teams and how they're constructed. Feel okay about.
So in terms of the Pacific, you'd say we'll take Edmonton against basically anyone but Vegas right now, Dino?
Yeah, probably. But then we saw Dallas the other night, and again last night. I like Colorado. I like you start to look around just in the West, and unless things do change drastically there, yeah, that defense it's a dog's breakfast.
Yeah, and honestly, like LA, if they'll add a goalie if they're in position to, and Tocchet's given this team some structure. They're going to make moves too. I think this is a great year for Vancouver.
And so where are the Flames?
They're at the bottom here. They're just a hair above San Jose, who might be the worst team we'll watch in a decade. More on that in the Pinder Report.
But the Flames could make a move, and then they'd be good in good spot.
What kind of move and what kind of a good spot? Like, what are we talking about? Winning or high picks? I'm confused. Up is down. Right is wrong. Bad is good.
Finning Canada, Finning Cat, one of our proud sponsors, your local dealer for cat equipment, built to handle work in Western Canada. For heavy equipment for the job site, visit the Cat Rental Store. Chat with knowledgeable staff and get what you need. Buy parts, rent tools and power solutions. Visit finning.com for a location near you. Still want that skid steer.
I feel like this would be fun.
I want to get into that thing, wedge myself in there, just start tearing some shit up.
You got to watch your elbow.
I know.
When Rhett gets his ranch, his big plot of land that eventually he'll do because he's talked about it for 10 years, I feel like that's a place you can go bleep around on a skid steer.
Well, like everything, I'm going to wait till those prices continue to go up before I purchase.
That's right.
You're working on your bees still. That's fine.
Yeah, just settle down, Retro. If there's no need to be hasty and potentially get yourself a deal. There you go. Finning, the rental store, Finning Cat, finning.com.
No, I have one if you're looking for one.
What, a skid steer?
What? Not a skid steer.
A ranch?
I dig it.
You got to dig it?
I got to dig it.
You want to dig it for Finning Cat?
Yeah. So little segment. What did you have earlier in the week? You had to dig it as well.
I was digging the throwback unis for the Titans. It was the old Houston Oilers unis, those kind of baby blues and that. They look sharp. I dig it.
Okay. So this week we go to the merchandising area of the sports universe. And this was in the American League, but you might remember this is a bobblehead for Yaroslav Askarov. top goalie prospect for the Nashville Predators, playing for the Milwaukee Admirals. What the hell is he doing here, Rhett? Can you describe what you're seeing?
He's doing net push-ups from right.
He's on his back, bench pressing the crossbar of a net. Why is he doing that? Well, let's take you back to last year when Askarov won a shootout game. This is after he stops the save in the shootout. The Admirals win. He gets on his back. He's hammering out crossbar bench press. This is unbelievable. And so the only thing better than actually doing this on home ice with the fans going crazy and you win in overtime is the bobblehead that now complements it. Now, I dig it? Do you guys dig it?
I dig it.
I want this thing. It's amazing.
I was just looking at the clock there. There was 8:33 to go in overtime. It was 1-1. Did he just make a save or did they win?
I was pretty sure it was the shootout. I was confused by that because
that's pretty cocky if you just make a save to keep the game tied in OT and start bench pressing the net.
No, Jack, I don't know if you edited that or not. I thought he was swarmed by the team after that. Or maybe what it was is someone was awarded a shootout in overtime. Either way, dude was pumped. And he's one of those 4 or 5 like super stud prospect goalies out there. That's what the Preds need, another goalie.
You couldn't do that here because you would have people. That's disgrace the game.
That's
right. You're just, how dare you do that sort of stuff?
They liked it in Milwaukee. Milwaukee, the good land. I can dig it.
What do you think if he gets under there? It's like, oh shit, it's too heavy.
Look at the shots
on his chest.
Look at the shots. This is why he's doing it. It's 46-12. Askarov's been upside down against Rockford here, and he's like, "You can't do it. I'm too strong for
Fellas,
you all."
Can I get a spot over here? Having fun. There you go. Finning Cat. Finning.com. Go rent yourself some heavy equipment or whatever it is you need. Let's do the Pinder Report. Apparently, we're going to hear about how bad San Jose is. That's what's coming up here.
It's a thing. And that's fine. They're trying to be bad. They're trying to tank. They're doing a great job. Tough if you have the fans, though.
Is that Willa Ford? I want to be bad for you, baby. She was
Keep going. I don't know.
She was married to Mike Modano? Dating Mike Modano?
Really?
I think they were married.
Married?
Might still be.
No.
Oh, no.
McLeod Law.
Well, I hope they got in touch with McLeod Law.
Northwest Auto Mall, online at villagehonda.com. It is Village Honda. New in-stock inventory on the ground. Start your automotive adventures at Village Honda, where new vehicle pricing is MSRP. Village Honda brings you the Pinder Report.
All right, fellas, let us start with the Calgary Flames. Big news yesterday as the Ostrich, Jordan Osterle, sent. Well, we don't know where he's being sent, but he's on waivers.
Too many ostriches.
There's too many Osterles. That's we'll see. It looks like he's going to go to the American League if he clears. We'll find out. Oh, what is it? Noon, East Mountain, whatever.
On vacation.
Oh, the brochure said there'd be ostriches. There's too many.
Listen longer, and you'll get the bad jokes.
Thank
if you've
you.
been around for a decade, you'll get the joke, which is not very good anyway. But
Jack is baffled. What the hell's happening?
Yeah, there's no Jack laughter in the background.
No.
RJ will be laughing somewhere.
That's right. RJ, he just peed himself. That's good stuff. We go to the corresponding transactions. Matthew Coronato is going to play this afternoon for the Wranglers. Oh, wow. So Coronato, now this is interesting because Pike saw this coming. This was a bit of a Pike bomb. He had tweeted this morning that Coronato had played on all 4 lines and had played with every single forward except Mangiapane. That feels like a guy that hasn't really settled into a spot, quote unquote. And centering the 4th line was his last stop. The American League's top line, probably a better spot for him in the near term, fellows. And what's the corresponding move? Martin Pospisil up from the Wranglers, an injury-plagued 3 years. It's his 5th year in the Flames system since being drafted, I believe. And guy has continued to work at this thing. They could have another solo lap on Saturday after debuts by Solo and Zary. Now it could be the solo lap for Pospisil in Seattle.
So many rookies. Hey,
so many kids. And this is what we talk about. I mean,
youth come from
the farm team down the hall, the Heats.
Yeah,
Stop.
and because they're close, right? This
is the first year they've been here, so
Yeah.
it's really the first opportunity they've had to take advantage of this.
Makes these transactions possible.
That's right.
To have them so close.
The possibilities are much
Endless.
greater
Yeah.
now.
It gives hope to the other guys in that Wranglers room. This guy went up. This guy went up. It's possible. So I could be the next guy to get that call.
That's right.
So dig in for whoever your coach is there, Martin Mull.
What's a darty, Rhett? A darty.
That's a car. Over in, yeah.
You know what else it is? It's what's happening at 1 at the Saddle Dome today. Here's the Wranglers telling us what a darty is. That's a day party, but you knew that. That's right. 1 o'clock puck drop at the Dome. They're giving away fanny packs. You can hammer darts in the bill. No, that's still outside only. And yeah, I was just thinking, like, my kids are out at noon. Why not? Go watch a couple periods. Watch Coronato fill the net. Let's go, baby.
Be a cool boss and bring your team for a Friday afternoon darty.
Darty.
Nice.
Yeah.
Go Wranglers.
How do you like that fanny pack, Dean? I don't leave the house often, but would you rock that thing if you did?
I'd rock that shit.
You dig that?
Damn right. I can dig that. I dig that.
Okay, good.
I dig it.
Last night was an absolute shit show in San Jose. A team that we know is going to be bad, that is drawing flies, was particularly bad last night. How bad? Well, the Canucks put 10 on them. That's more than the Sharks have scored all season.
That's a darty.
That's a darty right in the neck. How bad was it? My first Sharks game, and look at the Chiron bottom left. This poor kid. It'll get better, son. This is rock bottom.
Yeah, he's not going back. It's over.
Yeah, that's a rough entrance into the sport. Oh yeah.
The internet.
Does he jump on him there on Mick Foley? Does he go down on Mick? No.
No, but they wheel him to the back because he's broken in half, and then he walks back out and climbs up again.
No.
And then gets chokeslammed through the cage onto the mat.
I just don't know how these dudes don't die. It's
Poor
crazy.
San Jose. It's a hell of a beating.
Yeah, it is. They'll be politely rewarded with a very high draft pick this year.
The guys still got to win that lottery.
They do. Yeah, no, you're right. If you finish dead last, you have less than 50% chance of picking first. Those are still the rules.
Go Flames, go.
Go Flames, GFG, baby.
Yep.
Go Fire. Anything is possible.
Yep.
The possibilities of the Canucks being good certainly increase when Quinn Hughes is their best player. Look what he's done. This is your start to the season defenseman leaders, Rhett. Goals, Quinn Hughes. Assists, Quinn Hughes. Points, Quinn Hughes. Plus minus, Quinn Hughes. Even strength goals, Quinn Hughes. Even strength points, Quinn Hughes. Did you notice a theme there?
Puck hog.
Yes, that's the takeaway. And what a puck hog he's been.
Kids today. And isn't his brother leading in the forward ranks? In almost all those categories.
Yeah.
Pee in this cup.
They hate each
other.
Are the
parents even talking to Luke right now? I mean, come on, Luke. Do something, would you? Would you? It was the Coyotes and Habs last night. That game you showed goal Sean Monahan.
Start over?
Yeah, can we start it again? The Pinder Report brought to you by Village Honda.
Do you know Sean Monahan scored last night in Arizona? You showed us the video.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't another Habs loss. And the interesting storyline here was that Juraj Slafkovsky continues to be ineffective at the NHL level. The first overall pick from 2 summers ago had to play against the 3rd overall pick from the same draft. And the Coyotes social media team did not miss, as Cooley was quite good. And Slafkovsky continues to struggle. I do like it. It's like almost a clown nose. That's good stuff. Yeah. The Slafkovsky thing, and then you pass on Mishkov like this. You're supposed to be coming out of this with 2 studs here.
Well, and I'm drawing a blank. I'm trying to think. The kid that went to Seattle.
Oh, Shane Wright.
Yeah. Shane Wright is somewhere very happy. It's like, good, suck it, you dicks.
Get the pressure off me. That was a weird year too, right? Like, what was it? Wright missed a whole year of development because he stayed in the O and they never played that 1 year in COVID. Like, weird stuff. Slafkovsky went to the Olympics. Cooley was a kid. Could be that way. We'll see. Schedule tonight. Light slate. 2 games in the NHL. That's it. That's all. And you won't hear about us in the Betway Bets talking about them because we got our football picks on this Friday.
Are you going to the game, Retro?
Retro, you going to the game?
No, I got a game. I got a coach.
All right.
And I got a meat raffle.
Oh, you're doing another one of those.
Yeah, big game, and then off to the meat raffle. So it's going to be a big night. Oof,
It is Friday night. It's
Yeah,
interesting what the terminology you and the shuffler have for shit.
Oh,
Hey, babe, remember, we got the meat raffle tonight.
don't bring the shoveler into this. I'm
Why?
saving for the end of the Pinder Report.
All right.
We'll go to the NBA. You know, Kevin Durant's tall, right?
So tall.
Like, what is he, 7 foot something? Like, he's a monster. This is
Huge
him
calves.
with the super rookie Wembanyama, the French kid that went first overall. Look at how short Durant looks. Are you bleeping kidding me? He's towering over him. What is going on?
And he's telling him, hey, if you can't win yourself,
just come over with us.
Go and join another. Go and find a super team, and they'll lead you to a ring.
Dean doesn't like that one, bro. It's still in your craw. It's stuck in your craw.
It's a weird backpack.
It is. I like that you have some backpacks, though. It's usually just
an NBA backpack, too. It's
nonetheless, yeah, that's even, I love it. Great stuff. To the NFL, Jack Steelers gave him the greatest present he could ever have on his 25th birthday yesterday. They won a game.
What a game.
That Levis kid looked all right in the other end of the field, zipping that ball around under pressure for the Titans, too. Decent Thursday night game. Primetime unders hit again.
Bubbles, what was it? How was it?
Pardon me?
Bubbles? Was it decent?
Decent. At 5-3, the Steelers they sound good, but really, are they the 34th team since 1933 to be outgained in each of their first 8 games of the year? So every game, the other teams had more yardage. They're the only one of those teams since 1933 that has a winning record. They also have been outgained in every game with a deficit of 790 yards. That is insane.
Well, hey, you got Canada on the sidelines. Anything's possible.
Anything's possible with Tomlin. You don't mess around. And then Jack loved this because remember week 1, he's like, Niners are overblown. Steelers are winning the division, and they got throttled. Both teams now 5-3.
That's right.
He's in good spirits today, boys. He's in good spirits. Yeah. No Matt Canada hate today in the chat. Very impressive. And Jack, greatest fourth quarter quarterback of all time is
Kenny Pickett.
There you go. See? And preseason quarterback. Let's not forget that.
True.
He just plays every preseason quarter like it's the fourth quarter. We'll move along. Rhett, you and I in fantasy this week. We have a good fantasy team. I am hot shirt. You might want a tight end that's going to play this week. Other than that, it could be close. We'll see. So neutered dad up against Simply the Breast. Deadline hasn't passed yet. There's still time for trades.
Old Gene Minshew there at QB.
Yep. Doing some gardening. That's my boy with the trowel there at quarterback. And that brings us to our next item, Rhett. This is a Reddit chat specifically dedicated to fantasy football. Why don't you read us the headline, Dean, on what's happening here?
Sure. Guy in my league is offering Pollard for CMC, and I get to bang his wife one time.
So basically, he really wants Christian McCaffrey. Pollard's his best player. He's got nothing else that can win the deal. But the guy trading CMC gets to sleep with his wife once. Thoughts?
Gonna need pictures.
I was going to say, I don't know who's winning this trade.
Reed says, it's pretty tempting since she has huge jugs. I've always fantasized about her. So yeah, he's into it.
See, I can find stats for Pollard and CMC. I don't know where to go.
Yeah, I think it's a 34 double D and is the bra size. And I don't, measure the waist, the hips. What are you measuring out here? Enticing.
See, and all you have to do is eat nuggets, Pinder. Be thankful.
On that note, Rhett, I do have a very keen interest in Stephon Diggs. If you go back to your roster, is there anything we can work out here?
Hey, we could maybe make a deal.
Settle down.
I don't have anyone good. I have Tony Pollard, but maybe I can add a little sweetener to the deal.
Anything's possible.
We got Bobby Germany and Jack of that one, boys.
Does she ever hear any of this shit? Like, I hope not.
This might come back to her. We'll see. When Rhett's knocking at the front door, she'll know.
Well, you can see how offended Rhett was at the notion of even joking about such a thing.
He's like, you can have Stephon Diggs. That's
And
great, Pinder. I'll be home in a week.
Yeah, I'll be
I
back
do like
here.
Stephon
You're out of
Diggs.
town. When are you out of town?
You're gonna like this, Dean, because you love animals and you love eating, right? So this is a new restaurant out by Rhett's place. When you visit Buffalo, you got to go. Keep an eye on it.
Jesus. What is that? What the fuck is that? What is that?
That's a rat the size of your arms, sir.
Holy
Let's watch it again.
Jesus. What is that? What the fuck is that?
Yeah, that's.
What is that? He gets angrier. Just listen to it. It's beautiful. He keeps getting angrier.
Well, that's from.
Do you know what that it is? Pinder?
That's a clip from Full Metal Jacket.
Oh,
You've never watched Full Metal
Jacket?
Jacket?
I have, but maybe 25 years ago. Do you know how much beer and brain cells I've killed since then?
It's your malfunction.
What?
Yeah. But I'll tell you what, rats are something else, eh? Because we're used to mice. It's like, oh, mice and rats are the same thing.
There was a story about rats in the news today in the Calgary Herald.
Come on.
Yes.
What's happening to our rat-free landmass?
They had overrun some abandoned house in Mackenzie Lake.
No. Rats.
Yeah. What was it?
It's not abandoned.
Not abandoned.
All right.
Someone shovels and
I
grabs
don't know
the
what
mail.
the story is. The story is there might be rats somewhere. They got to get to the bottom of it.
Now, Retro and Razor went on vacation. You guys are tight now in Buffalo. I think this is Cabo. I could be wrong. Anyway, you're out there. You want to have the fun. The ladies are on the beach tanning, and you and Razor, let's do the zip line. Looks like a lot of fun. It snaps. Good Lord.
Thank God, it was over the water Razor.
I was going to say, of all the...
Oof. Snap.
Who's running that zip line?
Oof.
I mean, just do a quick head to toe there.
Oh, no. How's your insurance?
Get that Alberta Blue Cross there.
McLeod Law. Yeah.
And finally,
fat guy in a zip line? Call McLeod Law.
You get your Alberta Blue Cross insurance. You get your lawyer.
Right.
You just be careful if you're going on a zip line. Be ready. Be ready.
Yeah. Your big tub of shit ought to have a zip line accident in Cabo.
Are you a large tub of shit that got hurt on a zip line accident? Call us today.
We got your back.
Meanwhile, Peter Klein's like, fuck, I don't know, guys.
Guys, you got to stop
I
saying
mean, I'm
this
pretty
shit.
good, but, God.
The last one. Now, Rhett's a bit of a prankster. We know this. Remember, one of his birthday parties, he had a massive grand prize for some athletic feat, and it was a box of a TV, and inside was a TV. It just didn't work. He's a prankster, right?
Broke.
Yeah, he's a prankster. So this is what Rhett calls the smelling salt alarm. Now, the shoveler's trying to get a little nap here. Just a little rundown from Party and Razor. Poor thing.
Holy
That's
cow.
not nice,
Honey.
Rhett.
Honey.
Smelling salt alarm? That's just mean.
What is the thing that blew up?
And
I
then
know that it looks like she's getting pied here. Oh my god.
Boof.
Man,
she was mad after that. Hey, Rhett.
Yeah, but you should have seen her drinking last night. She asked for it.
She might still be in the bag. Who knows? She goes
Well, it's the
zombie
meat
here.
raffle, so her spirits are up.
She was setting up for the meat raffle. Yeah, she got out of hand.
Oh, that's your Friday edition, fellas. Hope you enjoyed it. We had some laughs in there.
Brought to you by Village Honda. Huge selection of used vehicles, all makes, all models, all budgets. With over 70 units on site, access to more than 400 more in the dealership group makes Village Honda your one-stop automotive destination in Calgary. They are worth the trip. Village Honda, Northwest Automobile. Have we ever talked to Anthony about whether or not he's all good with this, or the stuff that we cover inside the Pinder Report?
I think they just renewed, so either he's not paying attention or he loves it.
And a contract's a contract. You can't get out now.
We got lawyers.
We got lawyers.
Diggs is going to help me. I'm telling you.
Well, we signed on.
Not dead yet.
We signed on for the
Worst to
Pinder
first.
Report. We thought it was just kind of news of the day. Seems like there's a lot of awkward videos and talk about
wife swapping.
Not sure we want to be.
He's just a hard negotiator.
Not sure we want to be aligned with this sort of thing.
Look, if I could get Diggs any other way, I would. This is the last resort, honey.
Need a wide receiver.
Guys,
I can't be starting Cooper next to Christian Watson. These guys are bums.
Waddle's playing overseas. He's in Germany. I don't know if he's going to come through or not. I could really use some. Now, Jack, I put it
working out. It's fine.
Yeah, I put a little Gray Eagle thing in my in the drive there. I don't know what this is. I'm gonna have to talk to Sheldon. We're gonna have to talk to people over at the Gray Eagle.
Okay.
But you know, Rhett, you love Christmas.
Love Christmas.
Oh,
Big
God,
fan.
I love
Lights
Christmas. We all love Christmas. And we all love take a look at this thing that's coming. A Christmas rock story, a holiday circus spectacular, acrobats, aerialists, daredevils, and a rockin' soundtrack December 8th at the Greagle at the event center. So we got motorbikes.
yeah.
We got a motorbike on stage.
Yeah.
We got motorbikes and like acrobats and stuff going on, and it's Christmas. Let's go.
Yeah. That feels like a very eggnog-friendly event right there.
Right? Like here, yeah. It's definitely rum and eggnogs.
Oh, yeah.
galore there.
I'm into that.
Looks like one guy's on skates swinging somebody around. There's a guy with a guitar, motorbikes.
Someone's
Well
hanging
done.
from a hula hoop. That's whew.
I'm in the spirit. Tickets
Santa
available.
looks like he's fired up too.
Oh,
Look at him.
Santa's ready. Wah! He's
Face
he's
melter
ready.
for Santa.
Yeah. A Christmas rock story coming to the Gray Eagle Event Center December 8th. Get in the spirit. Tickets available at ticketmaster.ca. And if they're not on sale now, they will be very soon because it was just announced. And I figured I could do some homework on it and figure out what it is. Or we could just kind of look at
I
it
like
together.
this. I think we've everything we need to know. We know we need to be there with eggnog.
That's right.
all we need to know.
Yeah, that is right. Gray Eagle Event Center, and then of course at the casino and the hotel, they got everything going on over at the Gray Eagle Casino and Event Center. Time for the what to do? Betway?
Football fans.
I just need a quick minute.
Quick minute.
Tell me about Betway.
Oh, yes.
Betway 18 plus, Ontario only. Bet the responsible way. Betway. Play along, get the phone in your app, have some fun. And Rhett, we got a great game Sunday morning. You're going to love this in the Eastern time zone. It is a 9:30 Eastern kickoff between the Finns and the Chiefs. You will be rooting for Mahomes and company to beat the Bills' divisional rival.
I hate the Finns. Wilsey and Tua.
Yeah. They haven't beat a 500 team yet all year. They lost to Philly, they lost to the Bills, and now the Chiefs. We'll see. Okay.
Pump them.
Do you notice that the football starts later out there? Like you have nothing before noon out there unless they're in Europe.
Yes, and I don't like it as much. It's good if you're going to the game because 11 o'clock start is tough to tailgate at. So it's good if you're going to the game. Aside from that, it's the shits.
And so you'll be able to take this one in. Big brunch. What do we call that? The big scrambled plate. What is the hash?
Scrambler.
The hash.
Yeah, hash. Yeah.
Okay. So that's Sunday morning. And look at this. Yes. Da Bears. Look at this guy. I am so excited for you.
Do it.
Bears.
Bears.
We've bugged him for 10 years, Rhett. Don't judge him. He's done the right thing. He has an NFL team.
Where's your jersey?
What do you mean? He's got a sport coat and a hat.
He's got a zippy. Get a jersey. Come on.
Well, he will.
I've been a fan for about 22 hours. I thought I did pretty good.
Donaldson, remember?
Yeah.
Montez Sweat. Get a Sweat jersey.
That's right. If you really want to be, how big a fan are you?
Well, and you're a sweaty guy too. That's
so
perfect.
sweaty.
Yeah.
Pete Schweddy.
Good
Schweddy
for
balls.
you, Dean. Now you can put your money where your mouth is.
GD right.
Let's see it. Picks of the week.
Betway. Point spread picks.
Before we get started,
Our records aren't important. Don't worry about it. Starts
okay, well,
fresh.
that's where I was
Starts
going to
fresh.
go here.
It's kind of
Yeah,
like
Jack,
the
shut up.
series. We don't need to see it.
I
What, Jack?
specifically told Jack to shut up for the
Look,
first time
yeah,
ever today.
I was just gonna let everyone know the records because there was some
Yes.
bad math last week.
Boomer meth?
Oh,
So
for
Boomer.
real? The real records. Okay.
Yeah, Rhett 11-10,
Very good.
Boomer 8-13,
Not so
Jack 8-13,
Not so good.
Pinder 6-15.
Downright awful. But ended my 10-match wrong streak with a 2-1 week last week,
Way to brag.
going against my gut. So we found something that's going to work. Right?
Who's up first?
Gonna stick with the hot hand. Pender's picks, baby. After 10 wrong in a row, I nearly went 3 for 3, boys. The stupid Giants kicker screwed me. Here we go. What are we talking about? Chicago Bears getting 8.5 points. Do I like that? They're not that bad. New Orleans isn't that good. I like the Bears, which means I'm taking New Orleans minus 8.5.
Going against Boomer's team. What
Can't
a
believe it.
D-bag.
I'm trying to help them. You know how this goes. I like the Seattle-Baltimore game to be a tight one. It feels like a Tucker field goal at the end wins things. Seattle +6 makes a lot of sense. So I'll go Baltimore -6. And finally, a lot of the sharp money in on Carolina, getting 2.5 points against Indianapolis. Public's all over Indy. So I'm going to go away from the money and go Indy -2.5.
All right.
So you're going with the public.
Not the money, which is where the smart people are. Allegedly. Let's see if we can't go 3-0 to get to 9-15. Oof.
Here's my picks. The Giants in Las Vegas to play the Raiders. What happens when you change a coach?
You win.
You pick up a win. The
In
Raiders,
hockey. I wondered about that. I'm not sure about football.
they're already the mood in the locker room. These guys are loving life. It's Josh McDaniels. They did not like this guy. He gone. -1.5. What are the Giants? The Giants are not. Give me the Raiders -1.5 at home. Houston, Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay's lost 3 in a row. Houston's been okay. Give me Tampa Bay and some points. And the Chicago Bears. Tyson Bagent, my boy. 8.5 points on the road in the Big Easy. Let's go Bears +8.5.
That's a big, easy cover, Dean. I like that.
Let's go.
Rhett?
Yeah, looks here like I've got Baltimore over Seattle or Arizona at Cleveland, -8, and Buffalo.
They're getting 1.5 on the road.
Yes.
And this is
they
the
need to
game
make
that
a
got
statement.
halted with the DeMar Hamlin near
That's right.
tragedy. So there's unfinished business here.
Although I think I'll change that. I'm going to go with Dean and the Bears.
Yes.
You can't do that.
And you know what?
I'm
I
good,
was
Dean.
going to go Bills, but I know you got so mad at me last time because I feel
Well,
that's the play.
All the more reason for me to go Bears if you were going to
Everyone's loving the Bengals. Hey, the Bengals are back. Look at Big Joe, this and that.
You know what? I'll get rid of my Baltimore pick. I'll go Bills and Bears.
Okay, so Jack, you're the official notarizer here. You're the secretary. You need to make sure Baltimore -6 is removed, and you are adding the Bears +8.5.
Sounds good.
And I want to change one of mine. I'm going to keep the Bears. What are my picks again? I want to. I'm going to get the
God,
Bills
you
in
guys.
there.
No, you can't change.
Get,
Only Rhett's allowed to pick both sides.
get rid of my Vegas pick. I'll keep
Okay.
Tampa Bay. Give me. Actually, I want 4. That's how good I feel. I'm going to go to the wall with 4 this week. Throw the Bills on top of those 3, and you know what? Give me Carolina.
What the hell is happening
So I can
here?
go against. I want Carolina,
Oh, boom! This is too much.
and that'll be
this
5
is
picks.
ridiculous.
Listen, I got to get it back. It's like when you're at the casino and you're down. I got to get on a run here. I'm 8-13 for Christ's sake.
Who the hell's this Bears fan? He's a lunatic. He can't even make 3 picks.
Let's go.
Where's the old guy?
Okay, so
Those are my picks.
Carolina, Buffalo.
He gets those
Chicago.
picks. That's it.
What?
He gets those picks that are everyone could see right there. Those are his picks.
You know what he just did? He just
I like
warned
this.
you. He
It's
just
so good.
warned
I
you.
like this
You now
retro,
get to
'cause
see
then it's
what
like,
you do
oh,
to
God.
everyone else.
Can't have
Can I hit
two
on
of us,
3 out
dude.
of the 5 that I picked? If I get 3 out of the 5, I'm in great shape. All right. Jack, what do you got?
I'm going to change a pick too.
Oh,
Offer.
see what you did, Rhett?
Big Steelers win, so I'm just going to take everyone else in the division as losers. Buffalo plus 1.5, Seattle plus 6, and whatever Arizona is. I think it's plus 8 against Cleveland. So
It is 8. Yes, it's 8.5 in some places. Betway today, I checked, it's 8.
And like I say, I love Carolina getting 2.5.
Okay. So, Dean, you got 6 games, Rhett, you got 5. Jack, you got 4.
I mean,
You just pick the ones
Yeah,
you
we'll
want on
figure
Monday
it
and
out.
tell us how you did. Is that what we're doing, Dean?
Yeah, we'll figure it out on Monday.
Yeah, it feels like that's going to be okay for you. On Betway, unfortunately, they don't let you.
Can't do that.
Well, actually, you do. You can bet on anything there.
You can bet whatever you want. That's the beauty of Betway.
10 games, 5 games, 3
Just
games.
Bet the responsible way.
At both sides.
Oh, I see. And I need Dallas. Dallas
Oh,
is playing the Eagles. No one loves the Cowboys. You're getting 3 points. Cowboys plus 3.
This Chicago character has got some moxie to him.
Sure does.
Got some swagger. Look at this guy. Yes, it looks good on you, Dino. And you know what? No wimps allowed in Chicago. If you're afraid of Chicago, you're not welcome. You're not allowed here. Got to be tough, Rhett. Stop reading the news and get some street cred.
Hey, Dean would be safe in Chicago. He doesn't leave the house.
That's what I mean. It's perfect for him. Good food.
Deep dish. You're laughing.
Deep dish. Oh, yeah. Basically a cheese casserole. That's what it is. The deep dish. It takes like 45 minutes. It's
That's
very,
the thing.
very
You go
hard.
in, it's you know this takes like an hour to make. What? Oh, all right.
It's just pizza. That would take 20 minutes. We'll be out of here.
Some breadsticks to start. What do we got?
Anything?
Oh, Drew's back.
Sell the hat, sell the jacket. It's what I had in the friggin' like.
Settle down, buddy.
Hey.
Settle down, Drew Carey.
Take a long walk off a short pier. Mister.
There's Mike. Attaboy Dinger. Go Bears, go.
Well, they got 3 wins.
What's the touchdown song for the Bears?
No, how's that go?
We're gonna fight on Bears. We're marching right on Bears.
I like that Buffalo song from yesterday a little better.
That hit home for some people. I got some messages like, I can't get that. What's that? Where did we find that? What is that thing?
Whistling on that all day.
You know what? We'll go out on that one today because it's
really?
still in the file.
All right.
We'll spin a little man on a buffalo over there.
Sorry, what am I doing?
I remember the
for a limited
Jack.
time with DoorDash. God forbid you pay attention to the show. 25
He's
years
hungover
old.
from his
Doesn't have
birthday.
whatever.
One drink.
DoorDash. Get it delivered right to your door. What's that? Restaurants, grocery, pharmacies, bakeries, flower shops, whatever it is. You choose whatever you want from the app, left safely outside your door with default contactless delivery. And for a limited time, our listeners will get 25% off and 0 delivery fees on their first order of $15 or more when you download the DoorDash app and enter code NATION25, NATION25 for life. What do we got on the menu for DoorDash today, Pinder?
Well, you're going to have to hustle. You got an hour and a half, and I'm going off the board today. I'm not sitting you down on a couch. It's a Friday. It's sunny outside. It's time to do something. We're going to the Wranglers and Barracuda at the Dome today. At 1 o'clock puck drop, you're going to watch Matty Coronato play his first ever American Hockey League game.
Already.
Down at the Dome. Wranglers heavy favorites, minus 175. And that would make sense because if the Barracuda had some good players, San Jose wouldn't have the worst team in the history of time. So, because they'd be called up and playing for San Jose. Go Coronado, go Wranglers, go DoorDash.
It's a darty.
It's a darty today. Yeah.
Get some flowers sent to the house, Pinder, from me.
You can. It's DoorDash. There you go.
Launch this thing, yeah.
For a limited time, our listeners and viewers get 25% off, 0 delivery fees on your first order of $15 or more. Get the DoorDash app. If you don't have it already, then what? DoorDash app. Go to the App Store. Get on your phone. Enter the nation code NATION25. Promo code NATION25. 25. You see it right there in your screen.
Easy.
And you're going to get that deal. And the thing of it is, if you do that, then DoorDash is going to see, wow, a lot of these people are using the NATION25. We should go back with more.
Give them another deal.
And give them another deal. And give them another deal.
Maybe it's Bears fan 25 next month. Who knows, right?
Suck it, Derek Carr. The Bears are going to run wild.
I like it. This is I've never seen this guy before.
Mm-hmm.
NFL fan boom. Chicago boom.
Let's see how long it lasts as well. It'll be good.
Yeah, I think it's.
Hey, I never start something
Rich on
and
Monday.
abandon it partway.
Yeah, Rhett would be disappointed if you did because he would never do that either.
Because it's the one thing we've got in common. If we start something, we see it right through to the end. Right through to the end. Well, Pinder, you're off for something.
We got a top secret trip. Can't talk about it. Top secret. We'll report next week from Top Secret Report.
Right.
Top secret. Sunshine.
That's right.
Mouse ears.
Shh.
Top
Are you
secret.
the whole
Top
week
secret.
and a half, or are you going? Are you splitting her up?
It'll be 2 days there. 2 days.
Mission impossible.
Possible. Anything's possible, boys.
Yeah.
We'll check
It
in.
is awesome there. Have you been?
Not since I was a kid, but 8-year-olds. This is the time, right?
Yeah. It's
do
awesome.
it. Get it done. Don't need to do it again.
I had because all you hear about is nightmares and it's lines, all this sort of thing. We went a few years ago. It was right before COVID, 2020.
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome.
Good.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ken. You can frig off.
Pinder is always off, it says there. So Retro and I doing the deal next week. One game. They play Sunday.
It's a good week to live.
And then Tuesday.
Saturday.
Sorry.
They play
Tuesday.
Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday against the Kraken. And then
Okay.
Tuesday, Nashville in town. And then they go on their road trip.
They go Toronto for the old Treliving matchup. Ottawa back-to-back. Sens are better. New GM.
You're
And
good
then,
friends with him. You should get him on, Dean.
We'll get them on.
And then Sean Monotone on the following Tuesday as they do their Eastern Canadian swing. Maybe they'll ride the train. You guys want a beer?
Come on, ride a train. And ride it.
Ride a buffalo.
Ride a train.
Let's ride it. Ooh, ride a buffalo.
Is that it?
BetterHelp.
Yeah, we got BetterHelp.
All right. Better help than Buffalo?
Yeah, I think that's how you go. That's how you end the show today. It's Friday.
Barn Burner is sponsored by BetterHelp. Give online therapy a try at betterhelp.com/FlamesNation and get on your way to being your best self. Guys, it can be tricky. Asking for help, getting help, knowing what the right thing to do is, what path to take. It can be intimidating. We're very private. The best part is I think we're now all kind of accepting the fact that it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to need help. And if you're thinking of starting therapy, you should give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. You'll fill out a brief questionnaire, and then you'll be matched with a licensed therapist. You can switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. They want to make sure that the fit is right, because once that fit is right, that's how you start to make progress. Therapy helps to identify what the challenges are and start building strategies, coping skills to help you become the best version of yourself. Make your brain your friend with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/FlamesNation today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/FlamesNation. And we encourage you to do that for sure. Get that 10% off and check it out. Have a fine weekend. Safe travels to you, Pinder.
Thank you.
Good luck in your game tonight, Rhett. And
I'll let the shoveler know about that deal. Just send Stefan Diggs right over. Going to need him this weekend for you.
Now, I don't know how to explain or describe if you missed yesterday's show or you don't know what this is. I don't know how to best character what this is. Somebody asked Rhett on Ask Rhett if he's ever ridden a buffalo, and he said no. And the guy said, but I saw this online. This is how we'll end appropriately this show today. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you Monday.
One day the guy on the buffalo hopped off to stretch his legs, walking the field. Hey, what's this in the weeds? It's a baby. Awesome. He put it in a saddle, hopped on, humped it up a hill and across the plain. Tried to cross a river. Not gonna happen, man. You're riding on a buffalo, member, but keep the baby afloat. Get your guy on the buffalo. Gotta find your friend. She's buried. Guy on a buffalo. Hey, you want this baby? It's cheaper than adoption. Guy on a buffalo. You're welcome, lady. it, man, by yourself. God said, I got this, I don't need you, buffalo, it's just a deer. And normally the buffalo would have his back, but he was chomping